Hello, my brothers. Well, hello, my sisters, babies, kids, dogs, cats. I want to greet you in the name of the Lord, fellas, the brothers. And I just want to just give you a brief, if I can, just a brief word of encouragement, if I can, briefly, in a way of admonishment or a way of warning. And I say this because there are many, and ain't nothing wrong with tears, there ain't nothing wrong with crying out and expressing and crying out to God. But there comes a point where you have to be careful that your tears and your crying out and asking God and all that, you have to be careful that it doesn't become or take on witchcraft or witchcraft forms in a form of manipulation. And what I mean by that is sometimes people can be so depressed that they whole body language, it will draw people and make people feel sorry for them and draw them a certain way. You take like for an example, like with tears, like with babies, like when a baby doesn't get his way, the baby cries, and the probably is an honest cry. But what that baby figures out eventually is that if my mother tells me no if I want a certain thing, and my dad tells me no if I cry, then eventually I can manipulate them through emotions and make them change their mind. And so that's what I mean in a way. Ain't nothing wrong with crying and tears, but you don't want to get to a place where your tears become like manipulation. It becomes like it carries a certain look. It draws certain things to you. You know, manipulation. It draws bad things, because it's like being sad. You know, everybody's sad from someone dying or whatever, but there comes a period of time where you can't allow that sadness to overtake you, just like being alone. After being alone, there comes a point of loneliness. Loneliness is just when your emotions and when your mind and everything begin to speed up, and it becomes difficult to deal with. The lonely place, being alone. So it's like that. It's like just be careful that it's all staged with, and it all comes from having temperance, self-control, being aware, have balance, not to overdo it. Yeah, you crying out, but not to get to where you're crying out where you start blaming God, or you're crying out or you start punishing people for God not coming when you want him to come. See, sometimes people, when God doesn't do certain things when they think God should do it, then they'll punish other people through their anger. They'll punish people through their attitude, through all kind of stuff. It's like oftentimes, and I've done it, you know, when you love someone and when you're having a bad day, when the people that's closer to you, you begin to punish them. And so don't do that. Don't punish people around us trying to help you. Don't punish them with your emotions, with your attitude, with your hurt and stuff like that. But always be aware and be respectful. Be respectful even of your brother and your sister, even though you might be going through what you're going through, but you never know what someone else is going through. Because the truth of the matter is someone can be going through something worse than you. But it takes that time to listen, find out. But just those are my words and those are my thoughts today. It's just to have balance even in your emotions. Try to have balance even in your tears. You cry out, but don't allow the tears to make you bitter. Don't allow your tears to make you become angry and to do things in the flesh that will cause you to doubt God out of frustration and do things, and you fail to hear God. That's the main thing, is not to allow your emotions and what you're going through to speak to you so much where you get so caught up in your emotions, where you react to your emotions instead of reacting to God's instructions. Moses did that. God gave Moses instructions for the people. But because Moses got so caught up in the people and what they wasn't doing, he responded to them in their flesh and failed God and failed to articulate what God had told him to say to the people. Don't let this be to you when God has spoken something to you and spoken something to your heart. Don't allow your emotions, rejections, feelings, disappointments, or whatever get in your way and make you react and do things that God didn't tell you to do, and you fail to do the will of God. God bless you. Just be careful. Cry, tears, nothing wrong with that. But just be careful. Just be careful. Have balance in everything. Even the Bible says a false balance is an abomination. Balance is having things balanced, having things in order, doing things that God called you to do. In other words, processing things too. When there comes a situation, when you have balance, you don't just react to it. Your balance is you going to God. Your balance is you having people that you know that God has raised up and God has placed around you who have wise advice or wise counsel. Balance, surrounding yourself with wisdom, surrounding yourself with the word. The word is the balance. So have a good day. God bless you.